Those of you who know me know that I am a big worrier. Two things I'm worried about right now is, number one, I'm worried about winning that $1 billion jackpot lottery. If I win that, how will my life change? It will all be different. How can I spend all that money? These things keep me up at night. And by the way, if you don't see me next week, you know what happened. The other thing that I worry about is that they are telling us that next week, all the fragments of a huge booster rocket from the Chinese space station all the fragments will start falling on the Earth. What happens if something falls and hits my house, or my car, or my yard, or, God forbid, the church? You got to worry about these things, all this space debris falling down on us, Like I said, a big worrier. Maybe I shouldn't worry so much. They did an interview once of a gentleman who's turned 100 years old, and the interviewer asked the man, "What are the things that have caused you the most problems in your life?" And then thought about it for a minute, and he said, "The things that never happened." Because I am such a worrier, I am particularly sensitive to and am apt to get sucked into all the doomsayers that are prophesying right now. The people that say the end is nigh. It is, in the words of one person, a new religion of pessimism. And the problem is not that things are bad and they could get worse. The problem is that we luxuriate in all this doomsaying. We can't get enough of it. If we had a record of all the news articles or that we watch on our computers or our smartphones, how many times are they been the news articles and the things that kind of tell us about what's happening and why it's going to get worse? And we don't seem to be able to get enough of it. It's like the rubbernecking at a particularly terrible car accident. Jane Corton, in an article, Try to Resist All the Doomers, has said, the trouble is that all this prophecy about doom doesn't tend to motivate people to change things, but it leads to exactly the opposite. Doomsaying leads to disengagement. She writes, doomerism, isn't that a wonderful word, doomerism? Doomerism seems to have the same effect as depression, bringing about a loss of interest in taking action. After all, if I believe that my fate has been sealed by climate change, the Supreme Court of the United States, or the consistent political stalemate, well, then why should I do anything about it? Jane Corton goes on to say, the best way to spur action to change is to begin from a place of optimism, belief that things that you want are really, really possible. She says, optimism borrows from Christianity because in order for it to work, you have to have faith in the possibility. And I do. Someone once said, an optimist is a person who, falling off the 24th story of a building, is heard at the 12th story to say, so far, so good. Well, that's not really optimism. Optimism is praying, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And I believe that. I really do.